I'm sure must be from Scotland. His name is Davide Scotti, but in Scotland we just say David Scott. I know he spent a bit of time here in Aberdeen, in God's own country, and it's a pleasure to have him back with us today. Davide Scotti from Saipem is going to give us to think a little bit about leadership in health and safety in the context of coronavirus. Ciao Davide.
Ciao Andrew. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Ciao Davide.
Ciao everyone. It's a great pleasure to be here, to be with you, and I would like to share with you some of the reflections that I'm making over these days, over these strange days. I'm actually calling you from Piacenza in the north of Italy, just 1 hour south to Milan. Actually, my town is one of the 3 towns most hit by the outbreak, by the virus. So yeah, strange times, a lot of thinking, and I'd like to share some of these reflections. Actually, I would like to start with a video I produced for the EHS Foundation 1 year ago. A video that we produced 1 year ago we actually call it Safety for Future, and we were trying to imagine the future of health and safety. Well, that video is now more actual than ever, so I like to share it with you and start from there. So let me share the screen.
Change used to be gradual. You could see it coming, analyze it, and even embrace it. Not anymore. In our hyper-connected world, change is exponential. When things move so fast, it's hard to know what decisions to make. Things we could only imagine yesterday are real today. Collaborative robots, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, self-driving vehicles, bionics, virtual and augmented reality, wearable technology, big data, 3D and 4D printing. These innovations amplify one another to create a perfect storm of change. What impacts will technology have on the way we work and live? What will the consequences be, and what challenges will it pose for health and safety? If robotics and automation may mean people are less likely to work in dangerous environments, the digital workplace will have consequences at a social, psychological, and organizational level. Just think about the possibility of continuously monitoring workers, the management of work using algorithms, as well as the increase in ergonomic risks caused by new human-machine interfaces and the increase in online and mobile work. Let's make sure this relentless process of innovation doesn't overwhelm us. Let's take the lead. How? By staying human. In the vortex of change, uniquely human characteristics like creativity, imagination, intuition, emotion, and ethics are the only things that remain constant. Values like honesty and justice, the ability to come together and cooperate, feelings of friendship, trust, and love, the search for happiness and safety. All these things describe the endless frontiers of human life, a picture that machines will never draw. Technology will certainly lend us a hand more and more, but it will never replace the human heart. We need to learn to know and understand technology without being afraid of it. Only then will we make the best use of it. As the futurist Gerd Leonard said, the future is in technology, but the bigger future lies in transcending it.
I hope you got
used to be gradual. You could see it come.
The sound as well. You got it all right, yeah? Okay, so I will share the link, of course, in the chat for everyone to watch it again if they wish. So let me start with this. I hope not to repeat anything that has been shared during the conference because I couldn't attend 100% of it. But I'd like to start with a number, 70 77 are the days that have occurred from the first public case of Covid-19 in China. I mean, not probably the first actual case, but the first time the world knew about the first Covid case was the 31st of December 2019. And 77 days have passed from that day to the 11th of March, when the World Health Organization declared the global pandemic. So only 77 days. You know, it felt like a lifetime, but we're only 77 days. And we went through a very unprecedented challenge. All leaders in the world went through a very unprecedented challenge. Global leaders, institutional leaders, government leaders, industry leaders, no-profit organization leaders. We can do a lot of recriminations, you know, some things could have been managed better, we could look at what went wrong and so on, but I think it's not time to do that. We can certainly learn and improve for what we have experienced in this period of time. And certainly we have learned that the key fundamental words these days are collaboration and sharing. Two things that we as HSE professionals are very aware for. You know, we always fight a lot to spread amongst ourselves this important value, collaboration and sharing, now more important than ever. The reality is that we are under stress. Our organizations are under stress. The individuals in our organizations are under stress. Organizational stress because of workload changing, because of different way of working, potential gaps in the supervision, gaps into the supply chain. There are many organizational stresses that we are facing these days. And there are, of course, many individual human performance stress. You know, people have developed a higher level of anxiety, more uncertainty, you know, more fatigue, potential lack of focus, potential increase of mistakes, slips, trips, falls. And also the quality of life have deteriorated. You know, our quality of life at home is not the same as before. You know, with kids at home, with restricted freedom, and so on. So there is a lot of stress, organizational, individually, and the company's key challenges these days are certainly to protect the people, to protect the business, and to get through this pandemic emergency. Pope Francis a few weeks ago said, nobody is saved alone. Nobody is saved alone. And I think we can say that no company is saved alone. Actually, companies are saved through their leaders, both formal leaders and informal leaders. Anyone with a degree of influence today can have a great impact in helping the organization, companies, the industry to get through this very uncertain time. You know, we are in a perfect VUCA moment. Volatile, uncertain, ambiguous, complex. And you know, in moments like these, the key qualities necessary to get through are the qualities of vision, focus, influence, trust, credibility, transparent, visible and credible communication, empathy, feedback, you know, all leadership skills, leadership qualities, human leadership qualities, or I like to call it safety leadership. To me, safety leadership is exactly this. Yeah, we need, as we saw in the video, technology will always give us a hand, but it will never replace the human heart. Today, everything is changing, everything. Our way of working, our way of interacting has changed a lot. In the past 2 months, we made a lot of muscles in the use of technology, and for sure we will make stronger and stronger muscles in the months ahead. Things that before we thought were not possible, although the technology was there, now they are possible. This conference is a perfect example. Everything is changing. We don't know if we change for better or for worse. We don't know what will be like the future. People who think they know, they don't really. We don't have the answers. We don't have the answer. We know that things will be different, but we don't have the answers. And I have learned that when you don't have the answers, perhaps you can find the questions. This is a new era. We are moving on in the industry where the mantra is already is to do more with less. I like to say that, we will have to do more and different with less. And we need to be ready for this future. Leaders today need to ask themselves key questions, fundamental questions, and they need to find and ask these questions, not only to themselves, but to the people around them. I mean, what is or why safety leadership will be more important than ever in the future ahead? Why leadership in safety will be more important than ever? Maybe because it's going to address some fundamental questions. What these questions are? What comes up to your mind? We need to find these questions. Questions like how, for example, the behaviors that now we are practicing, now that we are forced to practice, what impact these behaviors will have on us socially, mentally, what impact will have on health and safety. What if people over 60 will have to leave our organizations? What the impact will be? What about social distancing? In the long term, what will be the effect of social distancing? Will people take care more or will people take care less? I don't know. But these are questions that we need to ask ourselves. These are questions that we need to ask to the people around us. These are the questions that leaders need to ask to their organizations. Maybe they are existential kind of questions. But to ask these questions allow us to keep focus. The best way to maintain focus is to ask questions. To ask the question to the people around. And we know that focus is probably one of the best antibodies. Certainly is the best antibody against the virus of disattention that we know that is a killer in our industry and in our society. Talking about the value of safety, this is another interesting point. The value of health and safety in the last weeks has really raised the scale, the climbed to the table. As HSE professionals, we fight hard to grow this value in the within the leaders we work with, within the organization we work for. And generally speaking, the value of health and safety was in the bottom of the league. Now, because of what happened at a global level, the value of health and safety got to the Champions League area. Is top of the league. It's different now. Usually in conferences like this in the past, or in my company, in Saipem, or with the companies I work for, when we implement leadership and health and safety, we try hard to use stories, to use films, to use numbers, to make people sensitive about the epidemic of health and safety at work. For example, 10 people dying every day at work in Europe, 3,500 people dying every year in Europe while working. We use films, we use stories, we use videos, we use pictures. We don't need them anymore. we don't need stories anymore. The risk perception now is very high on everyone. The potential consequence of certain behavior now is very close. The degree of separation between most people and risk, in this case being COVID-19, but generally risk is zero. Most people know people who've been affected or who have close relatives, close friends being affected. There are certain places, like the one where I live, that this is absolutely, the degree of separation is absolutely zero. But certainly at a global level, everybody has a reduced degree of separation between themselves and the risk. So,
Closing now, Davide, please.
Safety is a human need now more than ever. And real leadership today is certainly health and safety leadership. Personal responsibility is certainly an individual social responsibility. Our actions have an impact not only into our families, to our colleagues, but indirectly into the society more general. And our role, to close, our role as HSE professional is to give direction, to give guidance into this scenario. You know, safety leadership today is a must. The COVID-19 probably is an accelerator of safety culture and safety leaders. Companies, organizations who have matured, who are invested in the past in safety, in the development of a mature safety culture, probably will get through this turbulent VUCA time in a much better place than compared to organizations who didn't focus on safety culture before. And previous barriers have been now dismantled. Technology will always give us a hand, but it will never replace the human heart. We need leaders, we need real, visible leadership, creativity, empathy, communication, transparent communication, trust, and overall the ability to ask the right questions to find the right answer. The best answer being a healthier, a safer, and a better world for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Davide. Grazie mille.
Prego.
Okay, let us move into our next session. We're picking up a little bit of delay across the agenda. So Davide, we'll ask you to stop sharing your screen now. Thanks for that. We'll move straight in with just a short introduction to Harry Kalinias, who's going to talk to us a little bit about personal well-being affecting our leadership.